Hello and welcome back to another video. So today, as you can see, I am doing another talking to the camera video, and I have a few things I want to talk about as again. So to get right into things and start them off, the first thing I've noticed while making these camera videos is because I usually make them in the evening. That's why you can see my screen so heavily reflected in my glasses, which is a shame, but it's kind of the only time of day which is like a viable time for me because of like uh, just uh, time I have to talk without being interrupted or having to do something else. Um, a few other things, well, it's been a while since my last video, even though it was another talking video. Um, Yeah, the main reason for the delay is just I've been feeling pretty shit, which I'll get into later as a part of this video. But also, just I've recorded this video a few times, and I keep saying things in a way which I don't like after rewatching it, or just things don't quite go together, or I get interrupted or something like that. So that's another like main thing why I get delayed uh, quite a bit, or why I've been delayed from making this video. Um, I also thought that I also had a few ideas for like how I wanted to structure this video. To do with that I wanted to do like maybe some sort of game in the background or something like that, or like playing some sort of like RTS or something like that for the background of the video while I'm talking. But in my experience from trying that, I'm not very good at talking while playing that, because I tend to focus on what I'm doing at the time. So I don't really do a lot of talking, which kind of defeats the point of the video. But yeah, so to delve into the topics, they're going to be again related to uh, the last video's topics, to be honest, which is socializing, interacting, and just sort of sort of what I've done, what I've been up to, and my thoughts on things. So in the last video, I was talking about that I applied for 2 jobs, and then I was like saying like why, and sort of why I was going through these sort of things, and the reasoning, or my reasoning for going through this, even if I'm studying at the same time. Well, sadly, I did not get accepted for either of those jobs, which apparently is not that surprising because there's a lot of people that are looking for work in my town at the moment. But the next sort of the hope is that for the summer they're gonna do some more jobs for like these part-time jobs, because for like the students, right, that have their summer break. So I'll probably be on the lookout for that and see if I can get anything there. To sum up, like my main reasonings there was like I've talked to my parents about it, I've talked to my psychologist about it, and just generally what I understand is like there's no sort of point of like forcing myself into like the current jobs, which are the only ones I can currently do, um, which are currently available, which are full-time jobs, and they are there's only like watchmen, like night watchmen and stuff like that, or not necessarily night, just watchmen. And the main issue there is that I have to have a regime of like going to bed and getting up, and that I have to keep to, and these 12-hour shifts are really bad at preserving that, especially like because sometimes you get night shift, sometimes you get the the morning shift, and it just doesn't do, like it just doesn't go very well with the sort of needing to stick to a sort of regime of stuff. And just generally, it's going to be very exhausting for a person who already does not have a lot of energy, or I just generally already have a lot of energy issues with just doing the school work I'm doing, like the long distance school stuff. But yeah, so um, I'm gonna be coming up. This month is gonna be like a heavy month for me at school, because it's kind of wrapping up for the semester. Now, usually schools function until June here, but for some reason, like some of the teachers had decided that they wanted to move it along into this month, uh, because into May, because because it would like work out where we wouldn't have a lesson basically for uh, to have the basically the final test for the year or the semester ever. So yeah, so I'm gonna have a load of things, but on the other hand, since I originally was thinking about making the video, I was originally like complaining that it's a bit stupid, because like that I have to go there I have to travel about 2.5 hours at best for like a 15-minute test usually, but this time it's lucky on one hand, and on the other hand it can be also a negative. I have I have four tests and like a presentation to do on that day physically at the school. Uh, so that's gonna be quite hard in a way because I have to learn for all of them separately, and it might get a bit jumbled up and stuff, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Most of the tests for the non-important subjects consist rather of just basically the homework from the last half of this year, or yeah, half of the school year or half of the semester, right? Or the second semester, basically the entirety of the second semester, which is not that much. So it shouldn't be too hard. And then I'm not sure what they're going to be doing with the main subjects yet. We haven't gotten any information about that just yet. But I know that, like for example, for English, I'm going to have to go there at the beginning of June to write the final test. But yeah, so I still get homework, but it seems to be that the homework is only for this month, and then on June there isn't any homework for June. It's only for May. Yeah, May. And then June is gonna be no homework, but then probably just finishing the tests if we don't for that subject already do it in May, which which is not too bad. It's kind of nice to get it out of the way before June, because June is sort of like it gets really hot here, or starts getting quite hot here, and it's kind of I think everybody can relate. It's kind of hard to do things when you're in the heat, because there's not going to be any air conditioning or anything like that. Plus, it is quite draining to just the journey there, right? Because you have to travel for quite a bit. That's also takes quite a bit of your energy and focus from the beginning of the day, or like before you even start your actual tests or whatever. So yeah, how I'm actually doing outside of school, as in like mentally and stuff, I'm not doing great. If anything, it's gotten worse again for me. I sort of operate currently in sort of like a spiral, I guess. Not necessarily a spiral, because that would suggest that it's going downwards. It's sort of a cycle of sorts, I guess, but I don't know. I'm trying my best to alleviate the situation, or rather the way I feel. It's trying to change the way I do things and stuff like that, to better my mental health, which is quite difficult and takes up a lot of time. I'm sure that anybody that has had to deal with this stuff is aware. But yeah, it's just not been I've not been doing great. I've been trying to socialize and stuff like that, make friends and stuff like that, but once again, I feel like almost as if I've got a sort of curse when it comes to the people I meet online. They're not very good people that I usually meet online. When I say meet online, I'm specifically referring to like looking for friends and stuff like that from these places, not necessarily like random online interactions, because I think it's quite I think the standard online interaction is not great. Usually, I mean, I guess it depends on the game, but most of the games that I play that are online are not really known for their great communities. Like, I had a good example of today because I don't usually play because I've been feeling down. I've been trying to steer clear of these like multiplayer games and specifically like PvP games. And well, today I was playing World of Warships because there was like a new event thing where they made a crossover with Azur Lane or whatever, and you could get a free ship if you like claimed this quest thing DLC for free on Steam and then played like 5 battles, which is easy, right? So I was like, cool, like it is only like a tier 3 premium, but I was like, sure, I'll do it because of the collecting sort of part. I like to collect ships and stuff. Not like to the degree where I would pay loads of money for it, but if it's free, right, I think it's just like that. Plus, I also got like the Marble or Marblehead L or something like that, which is like a reskin version of the Marbleland, which is also like a free tier 5 premium, which was nice. But that one didn't require any playing or anything. I guess that was just like part of it being on Steam or something. It was actually like because I was looking at the discounts that were currently on Steam, and I went to like the 0 discount because I found out that Steam tends to do like games where they discount them into 0 to make them free. So I was checking out that section, and there was just this DLC for boat for World of Warships. So I claimed it and stuff. But anyway, I was doing while I was doing these 5 battles, I ran into this person who was. I was only playing Operations, right? Which is in World of Warships. Operations is like a co-op game mode where it's like I think it's 6 players versus the computer or whatever. There's it depends on which operation it is. There's like different scenarios, but it's either like you have to defend this ship or escort this ship or this base or stuff like that, and then there's sub objectives and stuff like that. But I was doing one of these, right, and there was like this person that from like I guess 2 minutes in the game did nothing but just cried in chat about how everybody else is terrible at the game that was in the game. And then they proceeded to die first, and then they were the second last on the leaderboard. But I just didn't understand, because I don't understand what motivates people to be like this sort of person where they cry in chat the entire game. But especially if they if it's like I think it's usually like 30 minutes or maybe even 40 minutes game, 40-minute games when you play these operations. Like I don't understand, like they spend all their time like commenting on other people's plays, and then it turns out that they're absolutely like they're no good at the game themselves, and that usually the anger that they're like showing in chat and whatever, not only does it not really make a lot of sense, it also isn't warranted, and it's usually just the fact that they're not very good at the game, so they take out their frustrations on their team, which, I mean, like I think at one point in our lives we've probably all been in that sort of situation where we feel like our team is responsible for like our bad time or whatever. But in this case, there was literally no reason to start complaining about the team, because it's literally 2 minutes into the game. You can't really tell anything about the players in your game in 2 minutes. And basically they just started it with like telling that everybody's playing the game wrong and whatever, right? And then you find out that these are the players who are really bad, and like even like with their stats and stuff, they reflect their approach to the game, I guess, which is that they blame everybody else, and have no introspection, and this is thing. But either way, like I found it also kind of ironic that they had a private profile on World of Warships, the World of Warships profile, because like they make this whole deal about how everybody's shit, and then they hide their own stats, which means that they obviously have something to hide. But like the main thing that I didn't understand is that in World of Warships, it used to be like it is in World of Tanks, where if you die and you were to go back to the hangar, you couldn't play that vehicle because it is being repaired or something. It was said like that, or it tells you that it's in battle or whatever, and you would have to wait out the battle to get the vehicle back. So that would then, so people would wait in the battle, right? And that would make sense on why this person would be constantly in the chat complaining or whatever. But now they changed it in World of Warships, where there's literally no incentive for you to wait in the game, especially when he died like at the very beginning of like a 40-minute game. He can literally just go back to the port, as it were, and instantly requeue in the same ship with no like penalty. You don't lose anything by doing that. But instead they choose to spend like 30 minutes of the time typing in chat about how everybody else is bad. And it's like I mean, to a certain degree, I mean, I know that it's useless to ponder, I guess, what is the reasoning behind this sort of behavior. But on the other hand, I find it sort of interesting, like a sort of from like, I guess, like a psychological perspective. Like I just don't understand the justification that they can give to themselves, that they're going to waste 30 minutes of their lives like yelling at people in chat when they could be doing something better with their time. But I guess that's what online arguments are about or whatever. But they were mostly talking to themselves with like, they're just insulting everybody, and they can't even then the person sort of run out of like ways, or stop repeating the same insult again. Well, everybody's terrible, whatever. He also chose this sort of weird way of calling everybody a useless wannabe, which, like from an English perspective doesn't make much sense, because if you're a useless wannabe, that would imply that the person is trying to be useless, which would then mean that they're not useless, but they're trying to be useless. So it's not really an insult, it's just a questionable thing. But again, it's probably me overthinking what they're saying, but I mean, it's definitely overthinking what they say. It's way easier just to ignore these things, right? Theoretically. But I just find it weird, like it's sort of like I guess nags I mean, I guess, because like I don't understand the person's perspective, I guess, and it's not like they're going to tell you their perspective, are they? They're just going to repeat the same thing again and again and again and again. But these sort of people, they tend to then they like devolve into just basically, they run out of things to say about the way you play the game, and they start trying to make it like more personal or whatever, and they start saying like that, I don't know, you're gay, or stuff like that, or like I think this person said like to one of the people that was arguing with them in the chat, that they're like the people, that he's like a person that goes to the nightclub and asks for the special ladies or something, which again, I don't really understand how that's an insult, but like it just doesn't really make like any sense to me. I don't know, like I guess we all get joy out of something else, and I guess some people that spend their time on Reddit arguing with other people on Reddit usually about things neither of them know anything about, then it would make a lot of sense. But I don't know, I just don't understand the I guess like personal benefits you get out of that. But yeah, I mean that was like just a thing that I experienced today, which was weird. Which I mean, it kind of did worsen my day, to be honest. I think that's relatively normal uh, for most of us, isn't it? That we have a person that appears in our life for not in our life, but like in our day, right? And they worsen it, and they kind of ruin the day for us, you know. But yeah, I mean, like, it's not like that serious, as in like that they ruin my day or whatever. But it's just like I don't know, like I was having fun playing World of Warships, and they sort of just ruined my enjoyment of the game, and I stopped playing after that because I finished my fifth battle by that battle, and I just finished, and I was like, well, this is what I should have expected for playing a multiplayer game, really, isn't it? These sort of interactions. So yeah, I mean, I've been playing mostly single player games now or co-op games, but mostly single player games because I've been trying to finish 100% in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which is an experience, let's say. Because for me, it's like I like to do the achievements because then it kind of feels like you're building towards something by just playing the game. Uh, while as like usually like stuff like War Thunder or whatever, I don't really get like the sense of any progress in that game really because you can play for like 3 hours with premium, and if you're like towards the top tiers, you will make like a slight dent in your vehicle progression, which that's great fun. But yeah, I don't know. Like I was doing that because it kind of gives me a sense of um, completion or something, like a sense of accomplishment, I guess, because you get the achievements that you're building towards something. Right in my free time, I haven't been like. Because I've been just feeling so shit that I wasn't able to like dedicate a lot of time to painting and my other stuff like that because well, just painting specifically because I find it really hard when I feel really bad to focus on painting, and I end up doing a lot of mistakes in the painting of my miniatures. That I just find it easier to wait till I feel better because I just make it a lot worse for myself, and I make myself feel worse because I kind of can't give it the amount of energy and focus, I guess, that I to meet my standards for the thing, I guess. But yeah, I mean, I finished. So I finished painting one today, which I've been slowly painting, and which means that I finished a whole squad of. I'll probably show an image here somewhere, but it's like a squad of. They're basically like Astra Militarum sort of things, but they're 3D printed from a place, and they're like chaos guys, like chaos aligned, like a chaos warband sort of thing. They look pretty cool. I think I did a relatively okay job at painting all of them. I mean, some of them look quite different to the others because I forgot to add rust to their metal parts, which kind of sets them apart from the other ones because I have a few which are just metallic on their metal plates and stuff, and then other ones which are rusted. And I prefer the rusted personally, but I mean, you can sort of see my progression in painting, I think, in them because I've been painting them over a longer period of time and painting different things in between finishing them. And like today I tried with the one I finished now, which is the final one. I tried a different technique for the rust, and I think it works out better. It gives it a more natural rusted look instead of the sort of forced rust thing. Because I use this sort of it's called like a rust effect paint, but in my experience, it doesn't really do a great job at it. You have to do a lot of extra stuff on your own to make it work, I think. But yeah, so I finished that. I mean, I added it to my shelf there. So yeah. So but now what I have to finish is like I've got. I still have quite a lot of models to paint. I mean, okay, judging off of like what I've seen online of people's like shame, what is it, pile of shame or whatever, I do not have a lot. I've got like I don't know, like 6 units, maybe 7 units, 7 like individual characters to paint. Maybe a bit more, but some of them I don't have bases for because I 3D printed them myself, and I haven't printed the bases for them yet because I'm still in the process of acclimatizing myself to the printer and also getting all the stuff I need to be able to do a lot of this stuff, even though I've had it for a while. But yeah, I mean, so that's to do with that. That's one thing I've been doing. I have 2 tanks, which one I haven't built yet because I was waiting to finish the first one. Then the first one I'm partially painted, but it was also not fully assembled yet because of the way you sort of tend to build these things, which are like vehicles and stuff like that. And then there's like another third tank which I have painted the base coat, finished, completely put in together, but haven't finished the detail work on it yet, which I'm is probably going to be pushed back quite a bit because I don't like it that much, to be honest. So it's going to be in the backlog. Currently, just because of the way I'm feeling and it's kind of shit, I'm feeling kind of shit and stuff like that, I can't really focus on the painting too well. So I'm probably going to switch to building the tank which I haven't built, because that for me is less of a focus thing, and it gives me a lot of like, it gives me like a feeling of progress, because you build the parts and you can see the parts coming together and stuff like that. Because I'm not that much of a vehicle painter. I've always been more of a miniature painter. A miniature painter because I find it easier to paint the miniatures. In that, like, I don't like, because I like to paint by hand, not by airbrush. Because I have an airbrush, I'm just not very good with it, and I'm also not very good with mixing paints of so very good consistency for the brush, the airbrush. So it kind of doesn't work so well, and also a lot of the paints I have currently are specifically like the miniature painting ones, which are mostly made for brushes and require a bit of work to make them function with the air gun. So that's why there's like another thing. But either way, I like doing the building. I'm probably gonna do the building. So the 2 vehicles that I have is a Marder. I think it's like the Marder Marder 1A7 or something like that is the name of it. It's the modern Marder, not the World War II Marder. It's like the APC. I'm pretty sure I played in a few of the funny moments videos I put out on the channel. But yeah, so that one, and then my second one is a Leopard 2A7 plus, M plus, yeah, Leopard 2A7 M plus, it's the name of it. So the kits I use are Ravel, whatever kits. So they're not known for being like great, but they were pretty good price-wise. They were pretty okay price-wise to quality, because I mean, I've tried to delve into the vehicles, but I don't have any left. I don't have any left because I did paint. I built a few and then painted a few also that I built and then painted, but like I had a KV2 and a T3485, but sadly I dropped them and they broke beyond repair, so I just chucked it. But so the KV2 was a Tamiya kit, and T3485 was like a Japanese kit. I'm not sure which one specifically anymore because it's a long time ago, but it was like a small one. So the T3485 was about that big. I think that's like 1:72 scale probably works at, or something like that. And then the KV2 was about that big, which was a 1:35 scale. And so now what I have is a IT7 or something like that, which is like again from War Thunder. It is War Thunder, which is like the ATGM Russian vehicle. But that one was made by a terrible company. as in not like that the company itself does terrible actions or whatever, but as in like the quality of the model was terrible and it was really a chore to put together. I had to saw the main hull in half, the top part of the hull, because it was too short for the bottom half of the hull. And it's not like just a little bit. I had to cut it clean in half because there was about like that big of a gap. So like a good 2 centimeters in like a 1:72 scale kit. So the tank is only like about that big. So yeah, I mean, wasn't great. So, but that one's the one that's got the base coat on it. Then I have the Marder, which I've partially painted, even the camo skin, which I've done by hand because again, it's a smaller kit. It's a No, it's not a 72. I think it's like a 48 or maybe smaller than that. But then the one I haven't built yet is the Leopard 2, and that one is a 1:34 scale. So that one's actually worked out quite big because it works out to be 31 centimeters, so it's about that big. I think from the box, it's about that big. Because I've inspected it or whatever, the stuff. But I've also been making progress on my scratch building things, which I hopefully will put up here somewhere. And so I built a few little houses on the outside. I've built a few walkways, roofs and stuff like that. I'm relatively happy with it, but I've pushed it back again because I feel shit and I just don't have the vision currently where to take it further. I know that I wanted to, on the base of it, I wanted to try and do like a sort of tent thing with technique which I learned about, which is like using dried web wipes and making it, because dried web wipes make a good sort of quality to that if you wet them in super glue, then after you dry them out, that they make good fabric sort of stuff. And I wanted to try making like a tent or something like that on, because the base is quite a bit longer. I'm sure if I have a picture up, it should be more. It would make more sense than from just me showing it. But yeah. So yeah, I mean, I've made progress on that and whatever. It's just that I haven't made a lot of progress in actually achieving, like, I guess personal growth or whatever. I don't know if I would say personal growth. What I mean is like I haven't achieved anything where like I haven't found anything that would make me feel any better, or like I still feel pretty shit constantly, and again I'm in a lower thing there. But I've been trying like going outside a bit and focusing on doing all these things and my exercising and stuff like that, which I've been doing. So that's probably gonna wrap it up for this video. That's really all I wanted to say about this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like the video. If you have something to comment on, you feel free to comment or share your ideas. And yep, see you next time. Bye.